Trump's 401k order plus Project Crypto. What does this mean for XRP's price by year end? Welcome back into Crypto Info, Blockchain Made Easy with your host, Frank the Crypto Tank. Today, we're diving into one of the biggest questions in crypto. What happens to XRP's price now that President Trump has signed an executive order allowing 401k retirement accounts to include crypto, with Project Crypto gaining serious steam here? What does this mean? What does this mean for XRP's future price? Breaking this down in plain English for you guys, okay? What's Trump's 401k executive order? What does it actually mean? First of all, what is a 401k for newcomers to the financial space? Think of it as kind of a giant piggy bank that Americans use for retirement and hopefully think they're going to retire someday with it. If we look at retirement accounts, they actually are holding an average of, I think it's like 400,000 on them. Right now, there's trillions of dollars sitting in these accounts. Normally, you can only put the money into stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and things like this. But Trump's new executive order now has changed the game. So private equity, land, digital assets, and so forth. So retirement money can now include these assets, okay? That means big investment managers like Fidelity, BlackRock, Vanguard, and so forth can start offering crypto options inside retirement accounts. This is huge. All right, let's think about how large this is, guys, okay? U.S. retirement accounts are holding over 7 trillion, okay? Approximately. And that's just, if 1% of that flows into crypto, it's like 70 bill. And if even a slice of that flows towards XRP, that's certainly enough to light up demand for XRP. What is Project Crypto? Okay, let's talk about Project Crypto for a bit here. This is the government's roadmap for safely integrating digital assets like XRP into the U.S. financial system. It's not just about buying coins. It's about creating rules, guardrails, and infrastructure so big money, pensions, and institutions can feel safe moving in. Project Crypto is basically Washington saying, all right, digital assets are not going away. The genie's out of the bottle. Toothpaste is out of the tube. This thing's happening. Let's build the highways, the traffic lights, and speed limits so that the trucks full of money can drive into this market without crashing into each other, right? That's what's going on. There's my analogy. For XRP, this is huge. Why? Because XRP isn't a meme coin, guys. It's built for payments, banks, and moving real money, exactly the type of asset regulators want to plug into these new systems they're creating. Now, how does this impact XRP specifically? All right, let's connect the dots here. 401k order equals tons of fresh money now allowed to flow into crypto. Project Crypto equals government giving the green light for safe adoption of crypto. Ripple winning the SEC case earlier this year equals XRP is now considered a lawful non-security token in the United States. All three together create a perfect setup for XRP. 1, retirement funds can finally buy in. 2, banks and institutions can safely adopt it. And 3, retail investors get confidence because the government is no longer fighting it, meaning crypto. This doesn't mean everybody's suddenly going to pile into crypto overnight, guys, okay? We have about 13% of Americans that are into crypto now or own crypto now. We're going to have somewhere around 80 to 85% over the next 10 years or so coming into crypto. But it doesn't mean that for the first time, XRP has a legal pathway to be included in massive pools of money that were off limits before, okay? Realistic price implications here. Now, I'm not a financial advisor. This is never financial advice. This is for informational and educational purposes only. You could lose all your money in crypto. Be careful, please. Now, let's get into the big question. Where could XRP's price go by the end of this year? In my opinion, somewhere around $50 or so. Could top out at 27 bucks. That's my opinion. Am I being a moon boy? Probably. Today, XRP is trading in the low single digits. So, Tank, you're crazy. With 401k money opening up, we could see billions flowing into crypto ETFs and direct asset purchases. XRP would likely benefit because now it's a green light asset in the U.S. after the SEC case win, right? Conservative scenario, if only a fraction of XRP retirement accounts experiment with XRP exposure, we could see XRP climb easily to $7, $10, $11, in my opinion. That's a realistic bump, mainly from increased demand and better sentiment, of course. Moderate scenario here. If adoption grows faster for XRP, say retirement platforms actually roll out XRP offerings by this fall, we have ETFs roll out, and Project Crypto accelerates XRP could actually touch $10, $15, $17. Who knows where it could go? I'm not a financial advisor. Don't buy or sell anything because of what we say or do on the channel. Crypto is very risky. You could lose your shirt in crypto. Now, this would mirror its 2017 surge, by the way, if this did happen with stronger fundamentals now behind it, of course, right? We have a much more pro-crypto environment, pro-crypto landscape. Aggressive, but still real-world scenario. If retirement flows, ETF approvals, and the banks all align before year's end, something like BlackRock or Fidelity announcing XRP ETPs, who knows? We could see XRP push well beyond the numbers I've mentioned before. We could be into 20s, $30 for XRP, not financial advice. Notice I'm not talking $50 to $100 this year. I think that'd be a little too hypey, but we could see these numbers by Q1, Q2 of 2026. Never financial advice. We'll have to exhibit patience and see how this thing plays out with XRP. Guys, let's remember market supply and demand, okay? XRP is a fixed supply, okay? 100 billion coins, a lot are locked up. So even if a small trickle of these trillions into these retirement funds, they want exposure, demand rises, supply tightens, and price naturally moves up for XRP, not financial advice. This is how it goes. So it's not magic, okay? It's not flip the switch and get rich overnight, okay? This is basic math, okay? More buyers, same supply, higher price, right? Because we have scarcity happening. So bottom line, Trump's 401k order plus Project Crypto doesn't just change the rules. It changes actually the more underpinning baseline playing field in a broader sense, I suppose, right? XRP has a realistic path into the biggest pools of money on earth moving forward here into the next decade. And by the end of this year, that could realistically push XRP into the $7 to $15 range and higher if adoption comes faster than expected. Now, if you found this video useful, if you found it entertaining, if you found it informational, please tap that like and subscribe down below if you don't mind. And don't forget our Caleb affiliate link, because if you're not using a crypto brokerage this bull run, I don't know what you're doing. Guys, I love you. Thanks for tuning into Crypto Info, Blockchain Made Easy with your host, Frank the Crypto Tank. We'll see you next time. Thanks for coming in. Please tap that like and subscribe down below. Please tap that like and subscribe down below. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I need to take a sip of coffee, please. It's not coffee.